This morning, as I was driving back from getting my hair cut, I was thinking about what I wanted to do today. And all of a sudden, I thought, oh, I'll go out for the morning, take myself out, do some shopping, have a wander around some shops, look at some shoes and some clothes, and just see what's out there. And I might even take myself out for morning tea. And what occurred to me all of a sudden was that after the last few days, and if you've seen those videos, I've talked about how I've been finding it really difficult to settle into this stage of life. And what I realized was I can do whatever I want any day of the week right now. But more than that, it's not just about retirement, it's about accepting exactly where I'm at and embracing that fully. So I've always been someone who's found it difficult with big change, and I've talked about that as well. But what I do notice is as soon as I actually embrace the feelings and move into it and accept where I'm at, the new thoughts, the spontaneity, everything kind of opens up. And that's exactly what's happened this morning. It's like a window has just been opened that was closed before. And it's a feeling of, gosh, I hadn't seen it that way before. What I've been focusing on is the fact that I had been concerned about money and that I really wanted to work again and all of that. When in actual fact, there's this opportunity, and the opportunity is there for everybody, no matter what stage of life you're in. If you've got a young family, you've got an opportunity to be fully in that and with those children and nurture them and enjoy them. And, I've not had children, so I don't know what that's like. And I imagine it can be incredibly challenging, as friends have told me. But the more we embrace where we're at, the more we get out of it. And I know it probably seems like a strange thing for a 61-year-old to be saying, but it's a lesson that I've been learning over and over, and I'm learning again right now. So today I'm taking myself out. I'm doing something totally spontaneous that I had no plan of doing. And, when I said to my husband, I said, oh, I'm going to go out today and just out for the morning. And he said, oh, what brought that on? And I was like, I don't know. It just came to me, so I'm going to do it. And I guess, too, it's tapping into that spontaneity more as well. It's not only just accepting where we're at, but it's like, okay, what do I want to do today? Where do I want to take my family? How do I want to approach this day? I had one of my viewers comment that, she's been struggling with retirement. And, because she's had to change her situation and move away from some family. And it's been really challenging for her. And I feel really sad about that because I know that I have resisted things in the past too, and that it's caused me a lot of angst and a lot of anguish and a lot of pain and suffering that I maybe didn't need to go through. And I know the last few days I've reconnected with, a lot of self-reflection, and I've been journaling again, which is something I do quite sporadically these days, but it always helps. I've always written things, I've always had journals, and it really helps me process what's going on. And the realizations I've had over the last few days, I've written them down because I can go back to them and I can read them again and just have that kind of cement in my being and in my psyche even more. I've been watching a few more YouTube channels, of people my age, people that are retired, people that are not retired, and just feeling into that and embracing that. So, yeah, the message this morning that came through to me is like, be where you are, enjoy it. Look for the gold, just allow yourself to be in it. And, the things will come to you, the spontaneity will happen, the things you want in your life will come to you. I'm a great believer of that. I've always been someone who has focused on what I want in the future. I've written it down, I've created vision boards, and it's come into my life. And those things are powerful. So if you're in a place where you're finding it difficult to accept where you are, try acceptance, because that's what I'm working on right now. And I'm finding that the more I'm focusing on that, the more things are changing. I've had an experience recently too around my body and my weight, and I want to share that in another video, which I will do very soon, because that's another area of my life that I'm actually letting go and accepting myself exactly as I am. And the changes have been quite profound, and the freedom I feel have been quite profound as well. So wherever you are, see if you too can embrace it, you can accept it, and you can just allow. And let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience around challenging times and, resisting and then feeling into it and accepting and being in the place where you are. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear.